It's supposed to be the silly season. I mean, it started yesterday and it goes on till after New Year, meaning that there's no news because everybody's having a holiday. Not at the moment. Ach, my lieve aarde, if you see a headline in a Sunday newspaper about Karel Niehaus, then you think it is the silly season. But the other things are not silly. I mean, first of all, there's the NPA and Sean Abrams, and is he going to come back, or who is going to come back in his place? And is Cyril Ramaphosa going to actually choose the new person to ask President Zuma to pop into court? And then, of course, let's not mention Steinhoff. What? Do you know, they actually said to me yesterday in the kitchen in Lutulia House, please, Comrade Evita, in your free speech, just control your freedom and just tell a story. Except what you're talking about. I want to share with the nation all the good news and the news that we shouldn't forget or ignore. No, they said the news at the moment is on freeze frame because in a week's time the ANC will have their Congress and of course they will choose, choose the next leader of the African National Congress. And I thought, oh, what stories have I got to tell? And then, I won't mention her name, a member of the ANC Youth League, she came in, Women's League. I mean, she's too young to be in the Youth League. And she told me this very sweet story, which I want to share with you. When President Jacob Zuma was inaugurated as president, the first thing he did was to take his wife, his oldest wife, Makumalo, to his office in the Union Buildings to show her what he had won. And she looked around the office and she said nothing. And then he drove her in the limousine with the Blue Light Brigade all the way to the president's residence in Pretoria. And he took her around all the rooms and she looked at the rooms and she said nothing. And then a helicopter, the presidential helicopter, flew them to Saxonwold in Johannesburg and landed on the grass of the Zoo Lake so that he could show her the beautiful house of his Indian friends. Well, she didn't want to get out of the helicopter, so she just looked at this palace behind the wall and she said nothing. And so the helicopter flew them to OR Tambo International Airport where they took the presidential aeroplane all the way to Durban, the airport there, and then another helicopter to fly them into the KwaZulu-Natal hinterland to the very familiar place called Nkandla. Well, Makumala hadn't been there for some time, and now she saw all the renovations. And President Zuma showed her the fire pool and the kraal for the sheep and the goats and the chickens and all die wonderlike dinge. And then he said to her, I'm also going to build you a tuck shop, which you've always wanted, and make your dream come true. And he took her hands and he said, Makumalo, what do you think? What do you think? And she looked at him and she said, what if the ANC finds out? Don't you think it's a wonderful little story? It's so sweet. Oh, sis toch. Ach, lieve aarde. Well, let's get back to the real news. Guptas again.
Evita, Evita, and you know what we mean. Evita, Evita, always on the scene. Evita Bezuidenhout, Evita should be queen.